I'm using a piece of cypress. I'm using also radial arm saw. The first time with a friend of mine helping me with that. Trying some new techniques on this one, and you have to see the step that in going with this. Unbelievable. I had to change the idea, I had to change the system, I had to change the shape. Watch what happened, watch what I did, tell me if you like it. Like I said, I'm using a piece of cypress that I got. It's a beautiful piece of wood. In my opinion, it was very dry wood, but you'll see later. Here in the middle, what I done is, because I know that cypress sometimes is also soft and it breaks easy, so I made a tenon and I made a recess at the same time. So if something goes wrong with the tenon, I can use the recess to continue with the project. And behold, that's exactly what happened. You will see just now. Boom. You can see straight away something is wobbling. I thought at the beginning that it just got a little bit of I'll have to tighten it. I tighten it strong and I tighten it strong and I try it again. I put back the center to see that it will sit in the middle, but I discovered no, something is wrong, and as I thought, it broke off. So I used the other method and I used it as a recess, and now I can go continue with the work. What I do is first I square it, make it straight, and then I put some lines. And you'll see just now in the next step, you'll see why I'm using those lines. I'm using a radical arm saw the first time. I don't have one, so I had to go to a good friend of mine. He's got one, and he helped me with my idea. And I'll explain you my idea. I don't know if that's the safest thing in the world, so don't follow it. But I kept, both of us, we kept our fingers and our hands far away. So what I do is I centralize the wood, and I centralize and I locked in place the saw, and with the lever I just drop the saw down into the wood slowly, and I cut the wood and I make a groove. Now the saw has got its normal shape, and that's what I wanted to create. I wanted to create a groove in the wood with a roundish shape that looks like a ball. And then the idea that I had is that I'll follow those lines, and that will be the lines of the ball. And now what I do is I just put a rim around it after I finish cutting it, and I'll fill it up with resin. I added a drop, half a drop, a quarter of a drop of blue into the wood to give it like a bluish color. I had some bubbles, so I cleared them up with a small torch, and I put it in a plastic bag into the pressure pot, and that's what I found in the morning. Lucky it was in a plastic bag, otherwise my pressure pot would look like after a war. Look at that, everything spilled over. I think, I can't understand why, but I think there was moisture still in the wood, and I decided that I'm going to cut off the excess resin, and I'll see how deep is the bubbles and if I can save it. The whole place was full with shavings, because it was cracked, the shaving didn't come out like a nice, it looks like they're coming like a nice stream, but it's not, it was pieces and pieces. The whole workshop was full of them. I machine it down on the top till I get the lines of of the cuts, and then I know that I'm centralizing it, and then I can make a decision, what do I do with it. I decided not to throw it away. Here I'm preparing for a tenant to create one, and at this stage, I'll be very honest, at this stage I'm just doing shavings. I don't have a decision on what I'm going to do. I'm just now looking for the areas where the line starts and how they're going down, and I'll try to follow the lines of the resin all the way to the other, all the way with a curve, so I see how far is the bubbles going to, and what can I do with it. So at this stage, I'm still making shavings. I created a tenant on one side, so I can remove it and turn it around, but I still don't know what I'm going to do with it. I'm continue doing some shavings, and I'll start doing the basics of a bowl, and then I'll start looking. I decided I'll start looking for the lines, how deep are the lines and how far they go, and according to that, and according to the condition of the cuts, I will make a decision what I'm going to do with this piece of wood and resin. One thing, I made a decision, I'm not going to throw it away. I'm going to find, you know, a lot of people say the wood will talk to me and will tell me what to do. And I think that this one, it will be exactly that. The wood will tell me what to do. What I done here, I created a tenon, but a big one for the big chuck. So it will be better to hold on a big piece so it will not break like it broke onto the other side. So I made a big tenon, and from there I'm going to look for the lines, and slowly I'm going to cut it down till I find the lines, and I'll go from there. And the wood, like I said earlier, the wood will tell me what to do. And now I'm going deep in, and I'm going to go all the way to the lines I used earlier. I use a parting tool to make a groove, to go all the way and find the lines. It will be quicker. And now you can see the lines, you can see the cuts, and now I'm going to shape it further. At this stage, when I looked at it, it reminded me very much of the ribs of a boat, of a ship, of an old Viking boat, or one of those sailing boat, old ones, the ribs that are holding the boat. And I decided that's the direction I'm going to do. I'm going to do a bowl that looks slightly like a ship, and the shape, and that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to call it shipwreck or something similar to that. Now what I'm doing is I'm filling up all the voids that are there. Earlier I just done 2 cuts with 3 cuts with a parting tool, and folded up with gel resin and copper, and it will be like the copper rings are holding together the ribs of the boat. Now those ribs are in between the ribs. I've got the gel, resin gel, and I'll finish with this side. You can still see there is some more waves, but I'll deal with that in the next step. I'll deal with that. I'm using steel wool to polish the copper, and you can see the copper pops up. Turn it around and start working on the inside, and follow the line of the outside, follow the same line for the ball, and it will be equal in the inside and on the outside. And then I'll take the center off, and you will see now. In the end of the video, that it's usually I don't do it, but in the end of this video, I'm going to have a small explanation of what exactly happened, and what was it supposed to be at the beginning, and what is my thought, and what did I change it, and how did I change it. So stick around, it's not going to be long, just explanation of what I did, what I wanted to do. And now I'm going to put again gel resin, so I can close the rest of the holes, and the next morning I just clean the excess resin and prepared it for the last and final finish. I'll start sandpaper it from 120 this time all the way to 600, and after that I'm going to clean it properly with alcohol, and I'm going to put another layer of, but this time of normal resin that I use. I'll brush some resin on. The resin is resin from Art from South Africa, and I'll let it stay overnight, and hopefully in the morning it will not bubble or anything like that. Next day it came out very nice. Now I'm going to part it, and I'm going to polish the bottom, put my logo on, and prepare it to show you the final project. Don't forget, in a few seconds I'll do the complete explanation of what happened and what did I saw and where did I go with it. Hi everybody, thank you for sticking around. I usually don't have discussion after the video, but I need to explain what happened here. And what happened was, the idea was to make it as orange peels ball using the saw and the shape of the saw, using it to make the grooves and following the shape to make the ball. However, what happened was, when I put the resin in, the wood was still moist inside. I can't believe it. I can't believe how long this wood was. It was standing already for a few years and it's still moist inside. When we cut it on the bench, on the saw, on the arm saw, we didn't see any moist, so I'm surprised. So you saw what happened at the beginning. It looks like a volcano. So I decided to not throw it away. I don't like to throw away wood, and I don't like to throw away good wood and good resin. So I decided to change it and leave the imperfection of the resin and the wood intact, and making it as a ball that came out of a shipwreck. So the time that it was in the water, the time was at the shipwreck, that one was the idea behind it, and it looks like that. And you'll see here I put 3 rings of copper, so it looks like it's been held together with copper. And I put in the end, I put a little bit of I put a little bit of resin on top of it to give it a little bit of a shine. But the reason was, you see, all those lines are full with, when they created with the resin, because of the water, they became murky and white, not everywhere. So I left it as it is on purpose. I had no choice, otherwise I had to throw throw it away. Of course, I put in the back my logo, and I really hope that you like it. If you do like it, and it's the first time on my channel, don't forget to subscribe. Put some remarks at the bottom. You like it, you didn't like it. And if you do, thumbs up. If you don't, thumbs down. And I will see you on my next video. Cheers.